on boys, let's go! Structure, come on! Structure, Skylar, talk to them! Drive, the drive! Structure!
Ladies and gents, we are back for another massive encounter. It's Curro versus the Roos Invitational side. My name is Randall Chris, and I'm joined in the commentary box by one of our national players, Keenan Horn. Keenan, it's been a while, a good 5 minutes since I've seen you.
Yes, thanks for having me, Randall. As you said, Roos Invitational against Curro. Happy to be commentating with you, man with extensive knowledge and experience in hockey. And what a vibe here at Milnerton Hockey Festival.
You know, I'm just a manager, nothing more. And as we say that, it's looking to be a very, very well managed contest so far.
Oh, some good skills coming out here from Curro in the beginning. But Roos equal to the task. I think that is Isak de Wet. They just played a nice long ball through there from Roos Invitational. I apologize if I don't know the Curro boys' names, but I've coached a few of these Roos boys, and therefore if I throw a name or two, it's because I just know who they are.
Yeah, unfortunately I only know my players right now, and most are out of school as they matriculated last year. But the Curro side captained by Marco Storm, with vice captain being Kino Menkis, Ezekiel Richards in goal, and coached by Lisa.
I think this is the first game for both teams today, and so they're both looking to start off quite well. Yeah, so far it looks like a good even contest here, but first opportunity up for Roos, that is. Roos with a short corner. Yeah, an early goal now, first 2.5 minutes. That'll definitely put them in a good position. Ludwig Gersner, the coach here of Roos Invitational, a young man, just finished his schooling at Roos last year and taking the reins as a coach. Real passion for the sport.
And teacher there with him is Amay Grelen. Roos side captained by Andre Becker. And umpire Robin Morgan saying too early. Robin Morgan, one of the most experienced umpires in the Western Cape, leading from KZN. Flick comes up and well saved, but that is a penalty stroke. First stroke of the day, just being confirmed with umpire JD.
Umpire JD there has 3D eyes. He sees everything, misses nothing, but just a short corner. Told you, JD doesn't miss a thing.
Yeah, so that one probably being off target.
But Roos still in there with another chance. Another short corner. We haven't seen very effective short corners throughout the morning and afternoon, but yeah, they have an opportunity.
And we have an early break yet again, this time sent on his way. Push comes out and a little bit of miscommunication there. Ball rolls all the way back out, and Curro on the counter attack, and they have the numbers up front, very, very well organized, and the defense is all the way back, and they do still have time. So now the question is, can they get into the D? Can they get something off here? And finding a way on the outside right, looking to drive the baseline, finding his way through. Looks like he may have had something there, but umpire says play on, and back comes the maroon. And umpire now saying that has to go back the other way, so still Curro Langebaan. Curro Langebaan throwing that one away just at the last, but we are seeing quite a bit of back and forth defensive play here by these two squads.
So some high pressure there from Paul Roos, gymnasium, and then just forcing an error there from Curro. Still on the ball there, and a good attacking position for Paul Roos. Beautiful day out here today. We hope you are joining us live on our live stream. We are flying here with some epic schoolboy hockey and schoolgirl hockey as well at Milnerton Hockey Festival. Proudly supported and sponsored by 4 Ways Online. Randall, first 5 minutes gone. What is your predictions?
First 5 minutes gone, and there goes the first card for an intentional foul.
He is so confused, this poor young Curro boy, but he's just sitting down as per his coach's instructions. As you know, the clock only starts as you get bummed to seat.
Yeah, I believe there was an intentional play on the board.
Shot there from Paul Roos, just going wide there. You just gotta hit the target. As his coach says, you gotta finish that, Jake. You gotta finish that.
Yeah, this will be key as just over 6 minutes have gone by so far, but this Curro Langebaan side did play with quite a bit of flair. Something in the water out there up to the west coast. And they're coming back with some fantastic counters.
I've tasted that water at Curro Langebaan. Does do a little bit of something to you, I'm not going to lie. But great ball, great composure to find the... Oh, great keeping.
Ezekiel Richards in goal there, wide awake. Managing multiple shots.
Paul Roos there, their left winger, just having so much composure to play to the centre forward on the P spot there. Just a bad touch from the striker, but they still recovered nicely to get a short corner. And look to capitalise on their short corners here, Paul Roos. As I mentioned, with the conditions, the dry turf, it's not really all that easy. Easier said than done, we always say. They're still in it here.
Yeah, as they look for something on the board, we have Captain Andre Becker on second parcel. A bit of miscommunication, the first push out, and this one finds his way looking for something simple, not looking for the straight flick, and unable to gain control of that one, and they have a second shot off, but no control. Very, very good work so far by both sides, both in attack and defense.
That must have been the quickest 2 minutes of my life. Curro back to full strength again.
A quick 2 minutes with a short corner in between.
Paul Roos looking to just build up nicely from the gap, get into their structure, which Paul Roos is known for. Curro just looking to just get their bodies around the ball and just making it as hard as possible for Paul Roos to play their fluent game of hockey.
Yeah, it's quite a departure from what we've seen across most of the matches today. We are seeing very, very good structures here. Incredible passing abilities from both sides. Not many turnovers in this match.
You know, that's testament to the lads' skill set, to the hard work they've been putting in pre-season. Just reward themselves there with some good quality hockey. You know, at this stage of the season, they're all still pushing for a place in their A teams, their first teams. So they really want to impress the coaches here. Also the coach just figuring out his combinations and what works for him. It's a good feeler out the tournament for the boys to get some kilometers under the belt.
Especially in conditions like this.
A little bit too casual there from the Paul Roos player. Some obstruction and good defending, good hustling. He's getting stuck in that left-hand channel there, the Paul Roos player. He should have just... Sometimes you just got to let the ball go out to go back in. Got a good turnover.
That is a big miss pass there.
Good pull there. Great goal from the Paul Roos striker. I think that's Eon Hendricks there. He did his primary schooling at Durbanville Primary and now playing his shade in Stellenbosch with Paul Roos. Great composure, great skill. I think what stood out for me in the build up to that goal is actually the way he pulled the ball from left to right to beat the defender and go around him. Too often this morning and this afternoon we've been seeing players trying to go straight through. But he just went straight around like we've been talking about. Great execution on the goal shot.
Yeah, it's quite important that strikers play the smarter game. Big lifted ball there, but well managed. Still goes against him. And Curro Langebaan favouring this left side again. They are starting to have a little bit of trouble connecting their passes. The interceptions do start to tally up, but the baseline work and defensively, Curro come away with this one.
Ooh, I think we have a snipe out on the field. There's someone just went down.
I believe he may have been winded. He is in a little bit of pain there.
I think he looks like a knee injury, and those are often the scariest ones when no one touches you. Oh, he's up, he's up. No, you should just wait. Can we have the medics out there, perhaps? Anyone?
I think he may just need to find his way back, but he's being held back by one of the players.
They are just watching as the heat got into the medics as well.
I believe they will be on their way out there, but
I think, okay, it seems like they're just going to carry him to the medics, unseen, but he's getting some attention now.
That is great sportsmanship, I believe. That is the same player who went down. No, it's a different player who went down earlier, who was carded.
Well,
yeah, this is similar kind of injuries that we saw at the Western Province Boland series at Sachs last year, playing on slightly softer turfs. He's quite taxing on the ligaments.
And also just some good FIFA fair play there from the Paul Roos boys, just looking to throw the ball out. Yeah, Curro just giving the ball straight back to them. Part of the fair play.
Right now, Paul Roos still have the upper hand in pace and just general connections in their passing, but Curro are looking to get something back here.
Oh, here we go. Good break from Curro. Oh, lucky. Some good defending there from the Paul Roos boys. It's just hard to have a counter-attack against a team who just breaks down the middle of the field. Having a good counter defense is so vital. Some good skills here from Paul Roos. Can he get the ball under control? No, he wins a long corner though. Paul Roos still in possession in the attacking third. Oh, quick goal! What a goal! That is pure technique. I actually enjoyed that goal very much because, you know, they always say as a striker myself, the ball's never in. Or actually, there's never a perfect position for the ball to be in. You always have to be in the right position. And the way that he just took that shot on very quickly, the ball was ahead of him, but he still executed the shot. Didn't give the keeper a chance to set up. A well executed goal. Paul Roos to Curro Langebaan 0. Josh Venter with the goal there, just confirmation from his coach. And 6 minutes left in the second half. Paul Roos have been knocking on the door. Well executed goals there. And you can see Paul Roos coach there, Ludwig Gersner, just directing his troops there. Looking like a well-drilled team, this Paul Roos Invitational. Good skills there. Breaking in, just can't find the next pass.
Yeah, despite what the scoreline shows, I've actually been quite impressed by this Curro Langebaan side. You see the difference in experience from the two sides, but the pure skill and talent is clear. It's just a matter of that last 25 where we need to be a little bit more creative.
If I'm not mistaken, Curro only have one player on the bench here. That's in this type of heat, hey, that is going to be a long day for these gentlemen.
So they have two on the bench.
Two on the bench. Even so, yeah, Curro just looking to slow the game down a little bit now, being under pressure in the last 10 minutes of this game. Oh no, unforced error there, and Ion Hendricks with a shot at goal and a great save from the keeper.
Yeah, let's keep Ezekiel
Ion's back
Richardson.
on it, staying in it, and his second goal. What a man, what a goal. Playing some really good hockey, Ion Hendricks. You know, seems to be a real menace up top there for Curro Langebaan, finding all the space. Definitely stand-out player in this first half.
Yeah, the Curro side looking quite a bit young, and the Sportos Invitational side, so they are getting quite a bit of exposure here, and also being exposed by the squad, just in terms of maintaining tempos and pace. They started really well by connecting a lot of their passes, but it's quite difficult to manage going forward here. And happy to see the young man who went off with the medic is back. Another bit of play just outside the big shot comes in and hitting the side of the net. Just over 3 minutes left here in this first half. Score still 3-0 to PRG. Curro started quite confidently and quite comfortably in this match now.
Paul Roos
Just scrambling to find their feet.
suffocating the space. They lifted up their platform quite high. They're defending quite high up in the field now. I think they're sensing opportunity here to just run away with the game and therefore applying more pressure. Curro was struggling there now to just keep a few passes together. With two Curro players lying there. Great defense again from Paul Roos. Curro maybe looking to sneak something in the last few minutes.
JP! All
They'll
right,
just
all right!
send the ball out wide to the left-hand channel.
Open man, this, yours, this!
Okay, double defending here. I must say that's been a real feature of this Paul Roos team.
Run
So
fine,
they're
keep
always
on,
opting
man!
to get more than one player around the ball, making it extremely difficult for Curro players to get their heads up and pass the ball. What would your advice be to
This left, this
actually counter that 2-1 pressure that Paul Roos are putting on the ball?
Well, I think the one thing that Curro's been doing, or that's worked for them when they have done it, is the work off the ball. So making those big balls, not running the balls themselves, but actually playing those passes into space. And as we look now, Curro ball on stick, and they're connecting such fantastic passes. If they can just maintain that momentum and just keep the ball moving, they should be able to capitalize and get something on the board.
Yeah, I think they need to up their ball pace just a little bit. I mean, they're allowing the Paul Roos defenders to get into position. But as you rightfully saying, they are playing some nice balls. Just up the ball pace a little bit, they'll create a lot more opportunities for themselves by shifting the Paul Roos defense. At the moment, the 2-1 pressure from Paul Roos is killing them in the final third. But they're still in this game. We're not riding them off. Don't get us wrong, folks.
Yeah, it's like what I told my Western Province Pens Indo side, is that it's very, very difficult to go toe-to-toe with any team.
Connect, 2-1!
And trying to go one-to-one in situations where it's not required, you're always going to come up 50-50. So take advantage of the spaces being afforded to you.
Paul Roos now, 1 minute left on the clock here, just looking to get another opportunity. Ion Hendricks with the ball in the area of uncertainty, and Paul Roos get a corner.
It's my chance, another one!
Ladies and gents, if you are at home and you're following on YouTube, I see quite a few of you there. Just drop us a comment. Who are you supporting? Any particular player you may be supporting? Anything you want to see today? Maybe throw a wager in there. We will bet a cup of coffee and a biscuit.
Yeah, if you're from all the way from Curro, Langebaan, send us a shout out there on Facebook or YouTube. Give us your thoughts on the game this far.
And there's about 15 seconds left on the clock, so this will be the last play for this half. And push out. Very patient, a little bit wayward, but finding it and looking for the zigzag, so they have an opportunity to score. And
another goal there on the stroke of half time to Paul Roos, sitting very comfortably at half time with 4 goals to 0, and Curro with all to do here. A timely break for their players. They've worked extremely hard here, so the break has come at a good time.
yeah, good half so far for both sides. POG coming away so far with a 4-0 lead. We will see you in a moment.
It's a lane, it's called Shine. If you want that on your chart, I hope you do. On the KFM Top 40, let me know about it. Elaine is back, so smooth and such a great track. Back in we go, number 6, Anne-Marie, and now Horrens everywhere.
We're back at the start of the second half. Score still 4-0 to Paul Roos. Sides have now been changed, and we're seeing a big change in the Curro press as they are going with a higher press now, quite a bit more aggressive. So as we had mentioned in the first half, looking to manage defensively higher up, but as you say that, we're just finding its way all the way to the other side of the park. And we are seeing quite a bit more space on the park now compared to the end of the first half.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the boys manage now. I mean, Curro probably had a lot more to chat about being 4-0 down there. How it's been interesting to see how they change the dynamic of this match. But of course, it's one goal at a time, one play at a time, 1 minute at a time for them. For Paul Roos, they're just looking to do more of the same, building up momentum, just being a little bit more pure in the way they're playing to execute more. But yeah, as you said, Randall, a lot more space in the field. Will we see a lot more big balls going through the lines. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think just looking at the way that first half went, I think the big ball is the smart way to play, as we see winning these little battles are what get you to outside the box. Running the ball definitely hasn't been working for many teams today, especially with the heat.
No, we found that the teams that are moving the ball a lot better are the more successful teams. And that's good from the coaching staff, because we haven't seen players just trying to do everything on their own, which is a real feature of our hockey here, is that it's been a good team games that have been played, well worked goals as well. And here we have Ian again getting a short corner. Man is having an outstanding game this far. Always a threat and a menace in that final 23rd.
Short in the first 2 minutes of the second half. Quite a good start. Going to the other side of the turf. This side of the turf has been a little bit drier than the other side, with many players struggling. I'm not seeing a bottle of water out there.
You can see at the halftime or at the halfway field there, the Curro coach is giving some instructions and advice there on the team. Very important that they defend this short corner early on in the second half. We've seen that a couple of times. Great keeping there. Again, it baffles my mind that the players keep going high on these flicks. I know it looks amazing when the ball goes in the net, but as we spoke about, if you're just keeping the ball low, pushing it past the foot, it's a higher percentage. And that is, I think that's Skulk Poseidon note there with those skills there. No, not Skulk Poseidon, sorry, I got that wrong. It is Skulk though.
Yeah, this time met at top D by first wave. Brave defense on their first wave. We're actually seeing a little bit of a retirement from one of the Curro players, the one who hurt his knee in the first half.
Yeah, I'd rather be safe than sorry. It's a long season ahead for these young lads. But sad to lose a player on day 2 of the tournament. And that is Aeon Hendricks' hat-trick. Well done to him. He's thoroughly deserved that. He's played really well, found himself in the right positions. And yeah, another great finish from the lad. Unfortunately for Curro, they would have wanted to keep the goal closed for at least the first 5 minutes. But 5 minutes into this, or 4.5 minutes into the second half, 5-0 to Roos Gymnasium.
And we immediately see a change in ball. Going for something a little bit fresher and harder. The other one has turned to a soft, sticky ball of rubber with the heat.
Yeah, those are the worst, Randall. I'm sure you have just being overpowered there, the Curro boy. But yeah, for those that don't understand it, the turf is, it's 31 degrees here, probably 32, 33, and the turf is boiling at the moment. So the balls that are made out of hard rubber are now melting on the surface and makes it a little bit stickier, harder to play with. So therefore we change the ball.
Big shot comes in.
Great save.
Ezekiel Richards on fire in goals today.
Yeah, he really can keep his head held high. He's done all he could to keep the ball out of the box. Here we go. Paul Roos' third corner of this half. Paul Roos really just applying the pressure now. Really making it feel like for Curro that they have no passing options available when they're on the field. And that pressure is really turning into some outcomes for them in the final third. We have Matthew Timmers and Skulk on the top of the circle there. Matthew Timmers just making a mark. It looks like the one it's going to go to on the first castle. Not a big run up from him, one stepper. Should be interesting.
First wave meeting him once again.
Some brave running from the first wave. Really does a job for his team there. And the ball just going across the face of the circle. And Andrew from Curro just unable to deal with the competition there to get that ball. Curro just unable to find their teammates at this stage. Paul Roos, on the other hand, are being able to pick their passes at will here. Great defending. Curro come out with it. A nice 1-2 playing. This is what we like to see from Curro, which we saw in that first half. Little give and goes. First half display was more of the same there. Keeping it in the channel, nice quick plays going through the line. If they can just find more of that spirit, Randall.
I think right now they are looking a little bit scattered, particularly in attack. A lot of the players are still finding themselves in the back foot. And as you look at a situation like this where he's looking for a ball and he goes for the big desperate ball, trying to go through another player.
And that's what's going to happen now, is that Paul Roos are going to start running a lot more with the ball. They're 5-0 up. So that passing game is going to dissipate into more of a running game, we will see. Good opportunity there from Matthew Timmers, but he just misses the target.
Yes.
Can Curro capitalize on Paul Roos changing their style a little bit by running and carrying a lot more?
As a general rule, you don't want to try and send the ball through another player because they should be able to stop it. Playing that smart pass around them will be the way through. As you say that the players start looking for those spaces.
Big ball, we haven't seen this yet from Curro, the first overhead from Curro. But Paul Roos up to the task there with the defenders in the right positions there. A little collision. A Paul Roos ball there on the right hand side of the field. Ooh. Matthew Timmers trying a very fancy little first time slide slap, which really wasn't necessary. And Curro get it through, quick shot, but keeper equal to the task there.
Yeah, keeper Justin Mulder.
Some
Very, very comfortable save there.
Some good keepers in the Paul Roos ranks. I know from experience, Boland keepers, they take their keeping really seriously, being coached by former national goalkeeper Jacques Leroux
And former Paul Roos first team goalkeeper, Jacques Leroux.
and former goalkeeper coach of the SA Ladies, Jacques Leroux.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Jacques Leroux was actually the keeper who replaced me when I left in 2003. And he's not only grown at least 2 feet taller, he's also become an important member of the Boland area, particularly in Franschhoek.
Did you leave any big shoes to fill there, Randall, or was it easy for him just to slot in?
You know, men like that, we always have, like I always say, have confidence in whoever takes your spot.
So the production line in Stellenbosch is just that good.
Yeah. Well, 10 minutes left. I'll be happy to see Curro get something on the board here.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a spirited performance from Curro this far. I mean, it's been a hard 30 minutes for them. Fortunately for us out here and for the players there's a nice little wind that's been picking up here. So the heat, there's a little bit of a respite for the boys with some wind on the turf there. I know it has been cooking out here, and again, testament to these lads for just giving their 110%. That's what we want to see from Milnerton's Hockey Festival teams over here, giving their all. Good strong carry from Paul Roos down the right hand channel. He just keeps going there, still going, and stroke. I feel like the umpire blew his whistle a little too early there. But who was that? I think it was Isak de Vet, just cruising there, showing all his pace and just beating about 4 or 5 Curro players. And he was actually looking to score himself there. I saw it tucked inside for a reverse flick, but another Paul Roos player snapped it up and put it in the back of the net. But by that time, the keeper or the umpire already blew a whistle. Here we go, Matthew Timmers. Oh, Matthew Timmers pushes it wide and he cannot believe it. I felt like he was a little bit too casual on that stroke. What do you think, Randall?
Yeah, I'm quite sure that the coach will probably be looking to eat his liver after that.
No, it's never nice missing a stroke, as you can imagine. Oh, quick snapshot, long corner. But I'm sure, you know, those things don't define your game as a player. So I'm sure we'll see Matthew Timmers. If he gets another opportunity, he'll slot it away.
There was another good opportunity to put another one on the board, but they have not slowed down, they have not stopped, and Curro looking to just manage this attack, which has been utterly relentless.
Curro going to a man-to-man system here, so they're hoping actually just to get more pressure on the ball carriers, it seems. They have been struggling with that, with Paul Roos finding a lot of easy passes. So let's see if this man-to-man aggressive system can work. It could open up a lot of passing channels for Paul Roos. Yeah, there we see a little turnover. Yeah, just the overhead going over. Actually, quite a good pass there. Defender on the left-hand channel was kept up, couldn't maintain possession. Curro just shifting the ball left on one too many occasions here, exactly playing into Paul Roos' hands. They're playing onto their forehand instead of keeping it on the right hand side, driving strong, building up momentum. You can see the Curro player starting to find options on the field here.
A big course on the bench to play the ball back and look for the pass. Curro looking to stay going forward and maintain that momentum.
Yeah, they're finally able to bolt some phases and get into the attacking 23 here. Let's see if they can string a few more passes together. Just be a little bit more aggressive. That's what you want to see from them. It's just being a little bit more aggressive in the 23. But again, Paul Roos defense up to the task as always.
But you don't want to be throwing ball away in that creative area, especially when you are 5-0 down. With just over 6 minutes left, we're seeing this characteristic patient play by Paul Roos.
Paul Roos is casually finding space on the opposite side of the field. Took about 3 passes to get to the right, from the right to left there. So that means they're moving the ball quite efficiently. They know exactly where each other are. Definitely a well-drilled team here. Curro just struggling to manage it. Oh, great lead there from the midfield. Oh, great ball through, pick up, and Curro up to the task there on defense. Paul Roos are just all over the opposition at the moment. They're not giving up despite being 5-0 down. There's about 5.5 minutes left on the clock, but they're looking for more. They want to score more goals. This team definitely has a lot of intent. And Curro just holding on.
It's been quite an intense match so far. Despite one injury on the Curro side, we have not seen any cramps or heat-related injuries.
Yeah, we have some strong boys out here on the park. These are, whatever the water they're drinking in Langebaan and Stellenbosch, they need to give us all. They are just running non-stop for 35 minutes.
I'm sure if I have some of this water, I'll probably be able to lift at least 4 houses.
Yes, sir. Hey, I got a comment on Facebook from one of the parents saying it's brakwater that they're drinking. So,
how dare you, parent? How dare you?
Nice, some good, looking for some good pulled-up player, Curro. But as mentioned before, Paul Roos have just set up such a strong defensive shape here that they just able to squeeze Curro whenever they receive the ball in that midfield and effect a turnover and immediately put themselves in attacking position again.
So you're seeing, actually starting to see quite a few comments coming through on YouTube. Mr. Up saying, JP Man's my hero. Let's go Aeon easy money. Klaus play from Aeon Hendricks and Rob Menke saying, go Curro Langebaan. Unfortunately, Marco Storm was injured early on, one of the best players in the Curro team. Marco Storm being the captain of that side, or this side.
Oh, he has a good counter attack and Curro counter with pace there. Oh, here we go. Shot opportunity. Great keeping by Justin Mulder, sniffing out the danger. But we need to see more of that from Curro. Unfortunately, a soft penalty and getting a card there, green card for the Curro player. But as you're saying, Marco Storm, big loss.
Big loss for the side. Captain and taking a little bit of a injury early on with the knee. Now, unfortunately, young man getting a green card for almost jumping on the player's back and going for a ride to the other side of the park.
Yeah, when you're playing against the top teams like Curro are today, you need your best players. So, yeah, unfortunately, a massive loss, but Curro put up a great fight.
A little bit of a scrap up top here. 1v3, looking to recycle and go back in.
2.5 minutes left. Curro just trying to get the ball to the other side of the field. This is great experience for these boys nonetheless, to be playing against tough opposition, coming down all the way from Langebaan. You know, they're only going to get better from these experiences. You don't always learn when you win, but it's when you're losing, the coach grows, the players grow, they understand, you know, their potential growth that they can effect. You know, before they start their season, they're having some tough games. And that's what you want, you know, to be able to know what you need to work on going back home, to be motivated to be better. So I'm sure these boys will take a hell of a lot out of this game today.
Yeah, they definitely have played their hearts out and look to develop new skills. Definitely seeing an interesting formation and strategy here by Coach Lisa. SPLG make their way into the D once again, but
Dangerous Eon over there. He has been definitely a standout player for Paul Roos. So has Isak de Vet, the right half, one that struck earlier. A number of boys just showing their class today. And you know, those boys will be playing to get into the Paul Roos first team as well. There's tough competition there. So they would feel like they've really put their hands up. But as for Curro, Langebaan, they're looking just to finish the last minute of strong, non-stop running from them. We can admire that heart and fight. You know, the Curro schools are proud schools. They put a lot of effort into their sport, academics, their culture. So they are just going to grow from this and go from strength to strength. I'm sure of it.
yeah, I've been quite impressed by the play by this relatively young side. Both sides have put on a show today, with one coming away with 5 on the board and 30 seconds left. Mr. Keenan Owen, your standout performance so far today?
Sheepers, there's been some good play all around, but I definitely think the individual goal from Mr. Hendricks in the first half, where he received the ball from a turnover, pulled the defender from left to right, rounded the defender and just flicked it past the keeper's ear. That was some good individual play, good composure, and that is game. 5-0 for Roos. Curro, a lot of fights.
Yeah, fantastic performance so far. I think this is your last match of the day.
I am bowing out. It's been an absolute treat being here at the Milnerton Hockey Festival, streaming live to SuperSport Schools, and also thanks to 4Ways Online for having us here, hosting. But yeah, what a time with you, Randall Crisp. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Some good hockey on display, and I'll tune in again soon.
Yeah, ladies and gents, we will be back in a few minutes.